What's up, all me Ewoks, Tribbles, Droids, and Wookiees? It's Anna, also known as That Star Wars Girl, and in today's video, I'm going to just give you guys my initial reaction and thoughts to the new Batman movie. Now, I'm going to try my hardest for there not to be any spoilers, and if after I'm done filming this video, I realize that I did put a spoiler, I'll put it in the description with, like, a link for you guys to, like, avoid it, just in case. But so, I just got back from the movies and seeing this. I've only seen it once, so again, just my initial thoughts and reaction. It is about 2 in the morning at this point, so just be aware I am kind of running on empty right now. But that being said, let's talk about this movie. Guys, I can't believe I'm saying this. I absolutely loved it. I was on the edge of my seat. Even though it was 3 hours long, just, when you feel like it was starting to get to, like, a low point, then something fucking happened, and I was like, oh my god. I was blown away by the performances. I thought everyone did an absolutely fantastic job. Whoever was the casting director for this, I mean, I don't know how much the director, Matt took, came into play with this, but god damn, the casting was phenomenal. Everyone played off each other so well. The villains were good, the heroes were good, even like the random, few characters there, they all played into each other so well. Heck, there was one guy, he was just a policeman that, is interacting with Batman. Never seen this actor before in my life, to my knowledge, and he did a really good job. So I was like, wow. And, sometimes you have those movies that are just so good, but there's just like that one person that just throws it off. For me, when I watch The Dark Knight, it's Maggie Gyllenhaal. Like, especially after coming from Katie Holmes, you go from Katie Holmes to Maggie Gyllenhaal, it just didn't fit. She stuck out like a sore thumb, and that's like one of my biggest complaints about that movie, is that she was not the right person to cast for that part. And luckily, in my opinion, this film didn't have that. I think everyone did a really good job. And, I mean, I could talk probably for hours about this movie, about things that I like and, things that really stuck out to me, like certain scenes and certain eye contact. Like, there's this one kid in the movie. This kid doesn't say a single thing, but he keeps reappearing throughout the film for reasons, because someone that, was related to him was involved in, obviously everyone knows the Riddler is the bad guy in this movie. The Riddler did something to him, and so, or somebody that he's related to. And so Bruce sees him, and every single time Bruce sees him, he makes eye contact with him, and he's just looking at him because it's a reflection of himself. He sees, himself in this child. And so I'm like, wow, that's probably going to be great for the next movie. And if you guys know all of that, then you guys know. If you guys don't, then you will once you watch the damn movie. But so it's just little things that go into play here. And I feel like the more I watch this, the more I'll see, which is why I do want to watch it again. Me and my best friend were actually texting because she was like waiting for me to watch this movie. And I was like, we're going to go see this movie. We need to go have lunch. We need to discuss it. And then we need to go watch it again. And again, if you guys like detective movies, if you guys like film noir, if you guys, I don't know, just like good storytelling, and you guys are okay with that, like, fantastical element of, like, this is obviously a man in a superhero costume interacting with policemen. I mean, obviously it's a Batman movie. You kind of know what you're getting into. This is a chick in, a leather suit, a leather, motorcycle suit with, a mask with cat ears. And there's, like, a dude that's a penguin, right? There's the Riddler. It's like, then you already can suspend your disbelief to a certain extent. So if you do want to see that, I would highly recommend it, because I really enjoyed this movie. And there are problems. I'll get into one specifically because I don't think it will give any spoilers away. So my one point that I can make without giving spoilers is that Robert Pattinson did need to work out. There is one scene in this movie where he, at least one that I can remember, where he's shirtless. And when he's wearing the bat suit, I'm like, all right, he looks good. I thought the bat suit looked terrible when I first saw pictures of it. I was like, what on earth? His cowl looks like a beluga whale. His ears are so far back. But the way that it's shot, it looks really, really good on camera. So maybe those were just bad, photo angles of it. But when you see him in the Batman suit, he obviously looks good. When you see him as Bruce Wayne, a lot of the time, you know, he's emo Bruce Wayne. He's, you know, this is only the second year of him being Batman. He's in the hoodie. He's doing detective work. And I was like, how does he fit the whole Batman suit in the backpack? That was one thing. I'm like, I don't think that all would fit in the backpack that he wears when he's like going in between Batman and Bruce Wayne, so that way he can do his investigative detective work, right? But he wears kind of like bulkier stuff, and then he's in a suit when he has to go out, you know, be Bruce Wayne kind of thing. And then there's another scene where he's like in a t-shirt and a hoodie. So it's like I could suspend my disbelief that there is some kind of physique under there, but there's one scene where he doesn't have a shirt on. And I get it, it's like a really intense, depressed scene, and he's trying to solve this mystery. But I'm like, homeboy, I think I have more, like, I think I got bigger biceps than you. And that kind of took me out of the, you know, the disbelief of it. Because I'm like, okay, if he had superhero, you know, super strength abilities, then I was like, all right, you don't need muscles because you got some kind of superpowers that it's like you can lift, like, an entire building with your pinky. Kind of if you guys ever watched the animated Hercules movie where he's just like a teenager before he does get all big and buff, and he can just lift an entire building, but it's because he's the son of Zeus, he's got super strength. Then I'm like, all right, you got super strength, so you don't really need to look muscular. But I'm like, you're a dude with no superpowers, literally with a I'm pretty sure that suit looks fucking heavy. So I'm like, you're in a heavy ass suit, you're fighting mobs of dudes, mobs of big, strong mobster dudes, and these are like, they're not little dudes, they're big dudes. You're fighting a bunch of them with this big old heavy suit on, all of this equipment, and you're that little. Like, he's not a twink by any means, but I'm just like, homeboy, I think you would be a little bit more in better shape if you were really doing all of that stuff. And there's one part where he has to like hold his entire body weight on top of the suit, and I'm like, and the length that he's suspended holding himself, I'm like, I don't think he could support himself for that long. There's only so much that willpower can do. So that was like one big thing that I can say without giving away any spoilers that I had a problem with was if they would have just kept his shirt on, which I obviously they didn't, because, you know, gotta throw something to the ladies, I guess, or the dudes out there. But that was just kind of like, okay. And I remember Robert Pattinson, I don't remember if it was a joke or not, but him saying about how he's not going to work out for the role. And I'm like, I don't know, dude, maybe just every time you get out of bed, maybe do like 20 to 30 push-ups. That would probably have made a difference. I mean, go to the gym like 3 times a week. It's really not that hard. If I can do it, you can do it, dude. And that, I think, is just a little bit disappointing. Because, I mean, even if you are going out every single night in that big old Batman suit and you're lugging that around, you're fighting dudes, you learned how to fight, you would have some kind of physique. And he just, I don't know, he just didn't. And I'm like, I don't know. Honestly, I think he must have been more toned back when he was in Twilight, because I just wanted to feed him. I'm like, homeboy, you need food. Like, here's a burger, here's a couple steaks, take some notes from Gaston, eat a couple dozen eggs, and, you know, I get it, he's depressed, he's emo, but you gotta have some kind of muscle to lug around every single night in that big old armored Batman suit, and to be doing the things, and be ripping the stuff off, and fighting, and stuff like that. And let's get into the fighting, because that was so cool. Okay. I felt like a kid. There's this one scene which was in the commercial, so I can talk about it. It's not a spoiler, unless you didn't watch the commercials. In that case, I guess it kind of is. Okay, there's this one epic shot where the Batmobile, which at first I was like, really, that's the Batmobile? And then you see it on camera, and I'm like, that's the Batmobile. Like, the Batmobile had an entrance, and I was like, oh shit. Shit's about to get real. And the Batmobile shows up. There's an intense car chase. And then, like, if you guys like those, like, epic cinematographic, like, with the cinematography, with, like, the lighting and the music and the intensity. Oh my god, it happened. And I was like, I want to paint this. Like, this whole scene, it's just, I don't know, it gets my blood going. I was just like, this is so cool. Like, you're just looking at it, it's like, ah! Like, you know when you're a kid and you see a roller coaster and you see the roller coaster and it drop and it's like, oh my god, I want to ride that roller coaster. I was watching that scene and I'm like, I want to go in that Batmobile, and I want it to do the thing over the thing with the explosions and the fire and the thing. Like, oh my god, it was fun. It was fun, and for like a really gritty movie to have like an intense action scene like that, I think it did work having all of these different villains because. Okay, how to break this down with this one. Okay, obviously everyone knows the Penguin was in it. Everyone knows the Riddler was in it. And then there's another one that's a villain, which I won't spoil. I mean, no, it's a spoiler. I won't say. Okay, there's actually like 3 villains in this movie that play up to something big and gigantic in this whole big thing, obviously, that's leading up to at the end. And I thought that played in really well because at first I was like, how are you going to have a 3-hour movie with just stuff with the Riddler? Like, I feel like that's going to get very repetitive or it's just going to feel like very drawn out. But because there was this plot going on, like this is the overall, this is the bad guy that they're trying to get and they have to solve the puzzles that he, you know, obviously puts down in front of them. And because you have to solve that puzzle, that leads you to person A, and then that leads you to person B, and then to person C, and you're connecting all of the dots, right? And then it's obviously leading to this big, gigantic thing at the end. And I was just like, it worked. It kept you interested, and it didn't get repetitive. It just worked. I don't know how else to describe it. It just worked, and I really, really enjoyed it. Again, I'm sure that there's things that I missed. I've only seen this movie once, but just seeing it once, I enjoyed it, and I wanted more. And I wasn't expecting there was this thing thrown at the end. I didn't know any of the spoilers for this movie, so I was like, they just did that. All right. So it was a complete story all on its own, but they did set up for potential sequels. And the one thing that I didn't think that I mean, I liked the way that it ended, but I think it would have been better if they would have had the way that it ended, that scene with those characters. I think that should have happened first. And then the thing where it hinted at who the next villain was going to be, I don't know if that's a spoiler or not. I think that should have been the very end, and it should have ended with that scene. And so it's like we got how Batman and all of that and that thing and all of that happened, and then we get this other thing which could potentially leave you wanting more. And so that was the only. I don't know if that's a spoiler or not, but that was something that I was like, okay, they could have done that. But yeah, I think it was a really fun movie. I think they did a lot of good stuff. I had my little notes, and it's like what I liked, what I didn't like. I liked the acting. I think everyone that acted in this movie did a really fucking good job. The casting was on point. I loved the epic shots, and it was just the music, the lighting, the camera angles, the acting, just everything came together to make something epic, and I really liked that. I liked the story. I'm a big fan of the Riddler. I like riddles myself, and I liked the way that it went and the little twists in it that I will talk about at a later point. And then I liked the costumes and the Batmobile. At first, I was like, I didn't like the way that it looked in photos, but I think it's one of those things that you have to watch the movie and see how it all plays into each other in the movie. And it does, it looks good all together as one thing. And it all, you know, it's all believable that these things would all exist in this way, in this universe. And one thing that I didn't write down on here, but I liked the way that they did the thing with the Riddler at the end, that thing. I liked that. What I didn't like, I didn't like how scrawny Robert Pattinson was. I think the ending, they should have switched those last 2 scenes And then I didn't like the people on their phone that were recording the movie. I really didn't appreciate that. And I didn't appreciate that when I asked them kindly to please get off your phone while the movie is on. I didn't like that all the people in the, party got on their phones immediately just to spite me. I didn't like that at all, especially since it was, what, $29.99 a ticket plus tax, and then I got my Slurpee and my popcorn. I didn't really like that. So if you're one of those assholes that's on your phone during a movie, leave and go the fuck home and just watch the movie at home. If you can't sit in a movie theater for 3 hours without looking at your phone, you don't belong in a movie theater. And that shit really fucking pissed me off. So, yeah, don't be one of those assholes. Don't do that. Put it on airplane mode and put it away. If you're paying money to go sit in a theater, then don't waste your money and your time and everyone else's money and time by being on your fucking phone. Nothing is going to change in those 3 hours. The person you're texting is still going to be there, and guess what? You checking your Facebook and your Twitter is still going to be there. So get the fuck out of the theater. If you can't act like an adult and sit in a theater, then don't come to the movie theater. That's my little rant on that. But anyways, guys, I know I've been talking for, a while now. I am getting pretty tired. But again, these are just my initial, thoughts about the movie. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was so great. And I'm really looking forward to watching it again. But yeah, I hope you liked this video. If you did, go ahead and smash the like button. If you didn't, that's okay too. Thank you so much for watching this far through. And if you haven't already, maybe take a minute, smash the subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications. Make sure that bell is set to all. That we actually get notifications when I do videos and live streams. And let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Try not to spoil it for people that don't want spoilers. And, just leave little clues in there, and I'll see if I can decipher them. But anyways, everyone, I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day, morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. I'm gonna go to sleep, and until next time, I hope I'm saying my outro wrong. See how tired I am. Okay, here, I'll get it right this time. Everyone, may the force be with you, because we are really going to need it. Bye, everyone. Once again, thank you so much, everyone, for watching my channel and my content. And if you would like to support me further, go ahead and check out my Etsy, The Art of Anna, TSWG, where I sell prints of my original oil paintings and drawings. I have a variety of characters, from landscapes to horror villains to Star Wars characters, DC and Marvel. So go check that out, and everyone, have a wonderful day. Thank you.